it's all going. Alright, so let me first of all just instruct you behind you here. There's a headset just on the other side. So if you just pop your headset on, so you can hear me okay. And we'll just adjust the seat. To adjust the seat, you move. There's a handle here and a hand hold up here, and you bring yourself into the middle and around to the front.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So your feet need to be touching the rudder pedals down there.
Yeah.
Which is good. All right. We're nicely in position.
Yep.
So because we've got half an hour, maybe what we could do is we could fly from somewhere that you wouldn't be able to fly normally. Have you heard of Kai Tak Airport in Hong Kong?
Not
Kai Tak is the old airport in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And in order to make the approach, you have to fly in through the houses in Kowloon, and then 500 feet above the ground, where you can wave at people as they eat their breakfast. You make a sharp turn into the landing at the runway, and it's known as one of the most complicated, difficult landings to do in the world. So I reckon maybe with your experience we could give that a go.
Yeah, it's good to. I mean, it's a privilege to go with an experienced captain like yourself.
That you've never been, that you can't fly now as a passenger. So what we could do is we'll start off, say, here in Macau, and we'll fly from Macau to the new Hong Kong airport called Chek Lap Kok, which is on Lantau Island. And then from there we'll do a touch and go. So we'll land, put the power on full again, and then take off. And then we'll make a right-hand turn and fly into to Kai Tak. In fact, we'll do a big left-hand turn, so you can have a look at the airport in Changi at Chek Lap Kok, and then we'll move on. So you get 3 different airports in half an hour. So that's pretty good stuff. All right. So just to give you another bit of a briefing. Control column. If you pull the control column back towards you, I'll let you do that. Pull backwards towards you, the nose of the aircraft is going to raise. If you push the control column away from you, the nose of the aircraft lowers. You turn the controls to the left, and the aircraft is going to bank to the left. As you turn to the right, the aircraft is going to bank to the right. When you're making a control column movement to the left, just pull back on the control a little bit as well. The reason we do that is that during the turn, lift has a horizontal component, so we lose some of the lift that should be balancing the weight, and as a result, unless we increase the nose a little bit, the aircraft can sink a little bit. So when we ever turn the aircraft, we just bring the back balance back, a little bit of back pressure. Down by your feet you have 2 rudder pedals. On the aircraft you're used to flying on Flight Simulator, they move the aircraft in this position here. On this aircraft, all they do is they steer the nose wheel. So the temptation is to drive the aircraft like a car. It doesn't work. You have to make movements with your rudder pedals, so you can feel that feeling. And I'll give you a clue: when we're going down the runway, just baby movements, just small movements, because it's very sensitive. Okay. Now,
so we should not do that.
Yes. When we'll steer the aircraft using the rudder pedals, but only small movements. All right. Any movements we make to the flight controls reflected here on the primary flight display. The black dot represents the aircraft, and the black L-shaped bars are the wings. When we're flying along straight and level, we fly at 5 degrees nose up. That's the way the aircraft flies. And when we're climbing, we'll position that black dot on 15 degrees. Here's your airspeed indicator that tells you how fast we're going, and here is your altimeter, which gives us our height above a datum, in this case the ground or sea level. A vertical speed indicator shows our rate of climb and our rate of descent. Here you've got a directional gyro, which shows you which direction the aircraft is heading in, and that's made larger on this big navigational display here. You can see the aircraft is heading almost north, or pointing towards the north, and that's runway 34 here at Macau. The triangle represents the aircraft, and this dotted line here is what's called a heading bug. And we can alter the heading bug here, and as we do, you'll see this bug moves around the screen. So if I were to say, let's fly to the north, or 359 degrees, we'll turn the aircraft to the right until, I'll just get rid of this terrain, until this little bug here sits in that little V shape. And when that sits there, we know we're heading in exactly the right direction. So whenever you can, position this little heading bug right in that position there. Over here we've got auto brakes. Auto brakes are for wheel braking, and what they do is, if we set the auto brakes to 2, we'll get a medium wheel brakes when we land without us having to do anything. If we set the auto brakes to RTO, that's rejected takeoff. So if any reason the captain, decides to stop the takeoff...
You're my captain.
No, you're the captain, I'm your co-pilot, I'm assisting. Then what happens is the wheel brakes come on full. So we'll set it to RTO for takeoff.
I'm sorry, what does that do actually?
So it's the automatic brakes for the wheels.
Automatic.
So automatic braking for the wheels. So we set it to RTO for takeoff. the undercarriage here, to bring the undercarriage up, you pull it out and up to the top, and to bring it down, you bring it out and down to the bottom.
What does the undercarriage do?
The undercarriage are the wheels that the aircraft sits in on the ground,
Okay.
and they come up.
So this is the landing gear.
This is the landing gear, exactly right. Over here we've got the engine indicators. They tell us how fast the engines are turning. The engines are controlled by the thrust levers, which are these two levers here. As we move the thrust levers forward, you see a bottom indication there will tell us that this engines are going to balance at 40%. We set them at 40% to start with before we move, to make sure we're getting symmetrical thrust, and then we'll take them to 100%.
Okay.
Bringing the thrust levers back slows the engines down. On the top of the thrust levers we have reverse thrusters. These put the engines into reverse thrust when we come in for a landing.
Okay.
So when we have all three wheels on the ground, we're going to reverse thrust. Below 70 knots we'll stow them.
Is this called wind brakes?
It's called, no, this is called reverse thrust.
Okay.
Speed brakes are here. Speed brakes are devices that sit on the tops of the wing, and we arm them for landing. When we come into land, they'll stick up into the air like this, and they'll help to slow us down.
Right.
For takeoff, they're set in this down detent. For landing, they come up and back onto this little lip.
Okay.
All right. Also, we have flaps. Flaps are devices that come out of the trailing edges of the wing that increase our lift for low air speeds and give us a lower nose for landing. We have them set to flap 5 for takeoff and flap 30 for landing.
Okay, so flaps will help you.
They'll help to. They increase the surface area of the wing, so they give us more lift. They come out of the backs of the wings.
Great.
So if you want to reset that to flap 5, I'll let you do that. They come up and out, and then down and under, and then out the other side. That's it, just like that.
Okay.
Tricky to operate.
Yeah.
Also, you'll notice from time to time these trim wheels will move around. The trim wheels are fine adjustments to the aircraft's pitch attitude, and they happen automatically in the aircraft. You don't need to touch them, and they will just help to trim the aircraft for you.
Okay.
The parking brake off and parking brake on. Over here is our mode control panel, or the autopilot, and we'll get to that in the flight, and our radios here.
Okay.
So before we can go anywhere, we need to tell the aircraft where we are and where we're going to go, how much we weigh. So we've got our flight management computers here. So first of all, mine does the same as yours. Our position is here in Macau. We're on Macau at runway 34, and we're going to an airport called VHHH, which is the Hong Kong airport, and we'll do a touch and go on runway 07 left. If you press the execute key, then that positions that in for us. We'll then need to tell the aircraft how much we weigh, because from the load sheet, how much fuel we're carrying, and what our altitude that we're going to fly at is. So we'll set 3,000 feet, and again, if you press the key there, and we'll set 3,000 feet here on our mode control panel, which is our autopilot. From there, a couple more things to do. We need to let it know what flap setting we've got for takeoff and what our centre of gravity is. And from there, which speeds we're going to take off at. Today's climb out speed is 148, so we'll set 148 here. When we get to 138 knots, which is just below 300 kilometers an hour, you're going to pull backwards on the controls to about here until the nose of the aircraft raises and pitches up to 15 degrees.
Yeah.
And once we've pitched up to 15 degrees, then we'll do our after takeoff checklist.
It's 140.
About 130 knots, but I as a co-pilot will call it out for you. So I'll tell you when to do everything.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we've set in our arrival now. So flap 30 arrival here, and we'll set our radios. This radio is set here to, I'll let you set yours. The big button does the big numbers, and the little button does the little numbers. So we go 111.1. That's good. And then press transfer. And then on the standby frequency here, we'll go 111.9.
These are radio frequencies.
And those are frequencies for the ILS, for the instrument landing system.
Okay.
And that helps us to do that. Exactly. Oh, good. You've done it. Even easier. All right. So before we're ready to go, we'll put these 3 taxi lights on. I'll call ground control for clearance.
Flight spins 556 now, ready for departure on runway 34.
And we'll put the anti-collision alerts on, and just set the seatbelt sign here to on. So I'll let you push that one down as well.
Experience 556, cleared for takeoff.
That's clear for takeoff. Flight spins 556.
Okay, you've got your takeoff clearance now, so we're ready to go. So push the parking brake off. Push it forwards. That's good. One hand on the throttle. The co-pilot also holds onto the throttle as well, just in case the captain is ill during the takeoff. Someone is still flying the airplane. Alright, so first of all you move the thrust levers forwards now until we get to 40. So make sure that bottom line comes to 40, so keep pushing. That's it, you push further. That's it until there. So we'll hold it there. You can see the aircraft's now starting to move down the runway. So thrust is set at 40, so push all the way to 100 now. So push forwards. That's it, keep pushing. Even further until that bottom indicator gets to 10. Alright, good. Take off thrust set. Now you're steering yourself with your feet. Keep your hand on the thrust lever here. One hand here. That's it, just in case we need to abort the takeoff.
Sure.
80 knots, check. We're waiting for that magic speed to come up now. Just small movements with your feet. It's looking good. V1, both hands on the controls now. And rotate, so pull back. That's it. Keep coming a little bit more. That's it, good. Alright. Very good. And bring that little black dot to 15 degrees now. We can bring the gear up now.
Yep.
Positive rate of climb. Pull it out, and pull it up. Very good. Alright, that's good. Very nice. All good. Nicely controlled. Very good. At 1,000 feet, we'll bring the power back to 85. So just bring the thrust levers back to 85. I'll help you with that as well. Thrust levers 85. Nicely set. We'll do our after takeoff checklist, gear, auto brake, and lights. And we're going to make a turn now to the right. So make a turn to the right. That's good. Good. Instinctively you're putting the back pressure in. Good sign. Very good sign. That bleep tells us we've got 1,000 feet to go before we reach our assigned altitude.
All because of my educated co-pilot.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure about that. That's good. So, bring the power back to 55 now because we're approaching our right altitude. And push the nose down to 5 degrees. Okay, and we'll bring the wings level now because we're heading towards this little heading bug here. So when we get to that heading bug, put that right in the middle. Just a little less power, just 55 is there. Alright, so that's looking pretty good to me. Of course what we do is, as pilots is we cheat. If you press this button here up, which is the flight director, this one here, push that up, and press the auto throttle arm up, and then press CMD here, and then let go, and let go. Just let go of everything. The autopilot is now running the show.
Okay.
Nice departure, that was very good. You've put us exactly on track. So before we took the autopilot off, you're exactly on track. We'll bring the speed back to 180. So bring this down to, so bring the speed there because we're going to be using the autopilot to control our speed. And you notice as you bring it down, look, the throttles are moving on their own. So they're automatically coming back to the right at the right setting.
Okay.
If you were to change the heading, let's go to 075. You notice the aircraft will now bang to 075.
Wow.
If you go back to 072, the aircraft will turn the other way to 072.
Great. So what is that country?
So this is Hong Kong over here,
Wow.
and just over this side here, we've on the green area is Lantau Island.
Okay.
Lantau Island is where the new Hong Kong airport is.
Right. I don't have visas, I guess.
Sorry?
I don't have visas.
Oh, sorry, we're not staying. All right, so let's take it off autopilot and put you back in charge of flying the aircraft.
Sure.
So just over here, there's a button. If you press that once, you'll hear the autopilot disconnect, and just press it again to confirm that that's what you want. Alright, so once we're in that situation, you are now in charge of flying the aircraft.
Okay.
You can keep both hands on the control column here if you like. And in preparation for landing, we'll put the landing lights on. So 1, 2, 3, you can press those on. I'll call air traffic control.
Flight Spins 556 is now on approach for runway left.
So we'll put our...
556, continue approach, report on.
And we'll continue approach to report final Flight Spins 556.
Okay, so we've got our permission to keep on our approach now. In preparation for landing, we'll bring the gear down. So undercarriage comes out and down. Very good. And once we've got the gear down, we'll start to bring the flaps out and slow the aircraft down for landing. So wait until we get 3 green lights, which means the gear is down and locked. And now you can come to flap 15. So set the flap to 15. That's good, very nice. Perfect. And we'll set the speed to 160. I'll call air traffic control.
Yeah, flight experience 556 now, finals runway left, touch and go.
And we're going to do a touch and go here.
Yeah.
Flight experience 556, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, thank you. Flight experience 556.
Alright, so good. So we cleared for our touch and go. So what we'll do is set our aircraft up ready for the landing now. That sound tells us that we're 300 feet away from our assigned altitude, but that's good because we're landing. So we'll set flap 30 and the power to 71%. So that's forwards now to 71%. That's it. Keep coming to that little bottom indicator says 71, which is just there. Good. All right. Very nicely done. So you can see the runway ahead. You see the white light?
Yes.
On that's closest to your side.
Sure.
That's the runway. That's where we're heading to.
Great.
So slightly around to the left. No, you're perfect. You're perfectly right. So really, what you want to do is position that runway straight through the middle of your body, and that should be right.
Okay.
We'll set the reference speed for landing, which is good, and we're going to do a touch and go here. That means we'll land and take off again.
Because you don't have license. What's visa?
Sorry? Because of visas, yeah. Because of visa requirements, there's nothing we can do, unfortunately. We're stuck. All right, very good. Now, to the side of the runway, you can see some lights. We've got 2 red lights and 2 white lights. And what they're doing is telling us that we're on a perfect 3-degree glide slope. The localizer, which positions us on the center line, is showing that we're exactly right. And the glide slope, which shows that we're on a 3-degree glide slope, is exactly right. So, if we were a real commercial airline flying, this is what I'd expect to see from a captain. So that's good news. So just come slightly around to the left to put your heading bug back in the middle. Slightly to the left. So just turn that's the right. So just turn the aircraft to the left. That's all right. No successful captains know the difference between their left and their right. It's all the same. All right. So as we come in, you'll hear a voice call out 1,000 feet. And that's a radio altimeter telling us that we're 1,000 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
When we get to 1,000 feet, you put your hand on the throttle. When we get to 50 feet, you'll bring the throttles all the way off. Okay? When we get to 100 feet, just start to put a little bit of pressure just start to pull back a little bit when we get to 100 feet, and that will raise the nose then, so we land on the landing gear on the main set of wheels and not the nose wheel.
Okay.
It's pretty good. So we'll keep that power as it is for now. Just position yourself as you're coming in. That's very nicely. Good. Look, 2 reds, 2 whites. So that's a perfect approach. That's exactly right. 2 reds, 2 whites. Exactly right.
Where do you see those 2 reds?
They're just on the side of the runway. Now we've got 3 reds and 1 white, and that's an indication that we're just a little low, but that's okay because we're quite close into the runway center line now, so it's not too much of a problem.
Great.
500 feet. That's checked. We've got our landing clearance. We're ready to go. Very nicely done. It's exactly on the center line. It's exactly right. Now, when you hear 100 feet, just start to pull the control wheel gently back towards you. Just small movements.
Sure.
Very nice. Very good. So here's 100 feet. Start to pull back. Just gently. That's it. Hold it there.
50,
Power off.
30, 20,
Bring the power all the way back.
10.
Oh, lovely. Straight on the runway center line. Very good. So power, we're going to stand up to the middle position here and just hold it there until the aircraft is ready to move again. All right, now power to 100%. Push forwards, push forwards, push forwards. Good. Take off power set. Airspeed active. V1 and rotate. Both hands on the controls and pull up to 15 degrees. Good. Positive rate. Gear up.
Is that too aggressive?
No, that's okay. Gear up. It's very nice. 15 degrees. Take flaps to 5. Goes in and out these gates. There's 1,000 feet. Power comes to 85% now. Good. And we're going to turn to the left. So a nice big turn to the left. I'll do the after landing checklist.
Thank you.
Very nice. I'll just give you a little bit more power. And just keep that nose up as well to about 12.5 degrees. Now this aircraft, it tends to underbank in the turn, so we just need to keep that turn on and hold it there.
Okay.
We've got quite a way round to turn. We're going to turn about 360 degrees.
Okay.
That shows we've got 1,000 feet to go, so keep the turn coming. But 1,000 feet to go until we get to 3,000 feet. I'll change your radios over for you, and I'll program in our new airport. Keep the turn coming. That's good. Very nice. Very nice. 180 knots, coming up to 3,000 feet. So bring the power back to 55 now. And lower the nose to 5 degrees. Good, there's 55. Just push the nose down now till we get to 5 degrees, but keep that turn coming. So keep the bank coming on. That's good. I'll take some of these lines off so it's easier for you to see. It's very nice. Keep turning. Keep turning. That's it. That's good. Just keep the turn coming. When you look out the window, there's the airfield we've just left.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool, isn't it? Considering that's a man-made island, that's pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah.
Way impressive. That's it. We're going to keep this turn coming. So keep the aircraft.
This comes here.
Yeah, exactly right. We're going to keep turning until we get to our new heading. It's very good. You're very easy to fly with. I'm having to do pretty much nothing at all here.
Don't say that. You
Which
did
is
a lot.
great. It's very easy. That's it. 5 degrees. So just keep that nose down to 5 degrees. All right. Now in preparation, start to bring the wings level again. So turn to the right now. That's it. Keep turning until the black wings are level with the brown earth. Pretty good. And then shortly we'll be making a further turn to the left onto a heading of 088 degrees. And that's the inbound heading for our airfield.
Okay. Wow.
Now you can't see the field yet, it's actually over here. Here's Hong Kong in this direction here.
Right.
Now you're still flying the airplane.
Thanks very much.
The autopilot's not in anymore. It's good. That's nice heading. We're nicely at 3,000 feet. We're 180 knots, which is what we needed to be.
Thanks.
It's pretty good. So we're going to make a turn now to the left until your heading bug is back in the middle again. So nice turn to the left. Good. You remember about bank, balance and back pressure. I like that. Alright. So bring the wings, start to anticipate the rollout and bring the wings level. Good. And 5 degrees. Okay, so let's get the aircraft set up. We'll go auto brakes 3. Good. Speed brake armed, so it comes up and back to the little lip. So just a little bit further, just there. That's exactly where it sits.
Okay.
Alright. Just keep this heading bug, just come around my way a little bit. That's it. They're only small movements now. We're pretty much... we'll put the landing lights on for arrival here. So these 3 lights here.
Yeah.
1, 2 and 3. I'll call into air traffic control.
Flight Expense 556 is now on approach for runway 13.
Good. Now we're going to lower the nose, bring the gear down as well now. Good. That's nice. You're keeping your heading nicely now.
On experience 556, continue approach.
Continue approach and we'll report final Flight Expense 556.
Okay, so we're going to just, we've got the nose lowered now, which is nice. Let's take flap 15 and set your speed to 160. Good. This is Hong Kong Harbour ahead of us now.
Okay.
We've got a pretty good approach here. Nicely on descent now into the field. As you can see those 2 white lights there, that's where the runway is.
Okay.
But we're heading out towards the centre of town first, and we're going to go to a place called Checkerboard Hill.
Okay.
And Checkerboard Hill is a place that it's just a hill with a big red and white checkerboard on it, and that's where we're heading to. So slightly back to the left, just to put that heading bug back in the middle again. Okay, that's good. Very nice. We'll go flap 30 now, and power to 71. And we'll set the reference speed for landing.
I'll call in air traffic control. Flight spins 556 now, final for runway 13.
Good, nicely set. Very good. All right, pretty good.
Running clearance 556, clear to land.
Now we're clear to land, flight spins 556.
Okay, you got your landing clearance as well. It's all looking pretty good. Can you see the two white lights?
Yes.
That's the runway, so you can see it's going to be a sharp turn to the left. Sorry, to the right.
Yeah.
I told you captains were no good at remembering their left from their right.
So now you are the captain.
Not today. Today I'm not. That's good.
Okay.
So we'll just come slightly to the left just to pick that heading bug up again. Very good. All right. It's a very nice approach. We're doing very well. Very good approach. When we make the turn, you need to put quite a lot of back pressure on because it's quite a big. Exactly right. It's quite a big turn.
It's like a 90-degree one, I guess.
You can see Checkerboard Hill just coming up on the base down there now. You can see a little wooded area with a red light in the middle, and you should see a red and white checkerboard pretty much on the nose of the aircraft now. Can you see where that is? Just on that little green hill. Little green hill, with a red and white checkerboard,
yes.
and that really is there, and that's what we fly for and head towards.
Okay.
Pretty good, huh?
Yep.
All right, one hand on the throttle, and let's start our turn towards the runway.
Okay.
So turn towards the runway. Good. Not too much. Whoops. Nice, gentle movements. All right. Good. Very nice. Just lower the nose a little bit, and we'll bring the power back a little bit as well. 500 feet. Check. We've got our landing clearance. Keep that turn coming. Slightly more to the right. A little bit more to the right. That's it. Okay. Pull the nose back now. So pull up. Okay. Wings level.
50.
Power off.
30.
That's it.
20.
Very nice. Keep pulling back.
10.
All right. Here reverses. Reverse thrust here. Just here. That's it. You got it. Use your feet to steer yourself down the runway.
Yep.
Push the thrust levers forwards. These ones here. That's it. Pretty good.
Wow.
That's quite an approach, isn't it?
Yes.
That's quite an approach.
Thanks to you.
No, I wasn't doing anything. You did all the. I was just giving you friendly encouragement. So we'll take the speed brakes back to 0.
Flight spins 556 now, request taxi to gate.
Let's get our clearance to taxi to the gate. And we'll put the flaps back to 0. So they go in and out of these little houses. Right, now use your rudder pedals now to turn us off the runway here. So follow the yellow line.
556,
Taxi to the terminal, flight X 556.
Alright, good. So follow this little line all the way around.
Okay.
Keep coming. Very nice. That's it. Alright, here's the runway centre line now. So we'll line ourselves up nicely, just small movements. Alright, good. So we'll do our after landing checklist now. We take the flaps, that was good, the auto brake. Landing lights 1, 2, 3 can come off. So we'll turn the landing lights off. And we'll take the anti-collision big flashy light off, the anti-collision one. That's good, that's all good. And we just taxi to the gate now. So we've got permission to taxi to the gate.
Okay.
When we're on the taxiways, we use a tiller, which is the wheel on the side there. You see on the left-hand side, big wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you move that, you'll see that it'll also move the nose wheel. So just move it to the left and right, and you'll see, whoa,
Oh.
small movements again.
Okay. Sorry.
That's what's steering us down the taxiway. So we use that when we're on taxiways. We'll use that to steer us along the taxiways.
Right.
But when we're on the runway, because we're using both hands, we'll use our feet. So we'll control the nose wheel on the taxiways with the tiller, and we'll use our rudder pedals with our feet when we're on the runway.
This is like driving a vehicle.
It is. It's more similar, isn't it?
Yes.
Much more similar. We've got some pretty good scenery here at Kai Tak. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, you can't travel here anymore because they've dug the runway up because they considered it too dangerous for people. So they dug the whole thing up now.
So this country is my geography is really
Oh,
bad.
Hong Kong is in the People's Republic of China, but it has a special
No, I know
territory.
Hong Kong. Okay, so this is in Hong Kong.
Yeah, this is in the centre of Hong
Okay.
Kong now. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's it has a
Wow.
special region dispensation. Now,
Alright.
if you use the rudder pedals, if you put your feet right on top of the rudder pedals,
Yes.
I'll let you do that now. Put your
Yeah.
feet right on the very top of the pedals,
Yeah.
and if you move forwards with your toes like that, you'll feel that they move, and those are brakes.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
you see, you've stopped us.
Great.
And those are wheel brakes. I'll give you a little bit more power just to get you moving again.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to the air bridge that's over there.
Okay.
You see these two little air bridges that are sticking out?
Yes.
We're going to park alongside those air bridges there. And as we come closer in, then you'll be able to use your the toe brakes just to be able to stop the aircraft.
Right.